Everybody, it's Neenah. Welcome back. Today we're going to be making a card using the new Altenew grid stencil, some rainbow foil, and some new Rebekah Meier, I believe, designs. This is mixed media medium, and this is going to be so pretty, you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm using some Neenah Solar White paper. This is the 80-pound weight. And I'm just going to temporarily tack that down onto my craft mat. Now, you guys know, if you are a subscriber to my YouTube channel, I love making backgrounds for cards. That's just something that I really love to do. And it's a technique that's really super easy to do. So, this is something that's right up my alley. As soon as I saw this Altenew grid stencil, I knew I had to have it. I think it's will work fantastic with mousse, the embellishment mousse. I think it would look fantastic with inks. It will look great with sprays. But I wanted to try this out with the new mixed media medium from Thermoweb. I had been reading up on this and watching some YouTube videos, and I saw my friend Gracie use it, so I wanted to give it a try. So I went ahead and picked this up off of Amazon, and check out the consistency. It's like a watered down like frosting. It's a little bit thinner than any of the other mixed media stuff I've been using. So I wanted to give this a try to see how it really worked with the foil. Now, Gracie used it as well with on one of the videos over on Thermoweb, and I will go ahead and link that in the description box below so you can see it. She used it with some Gina K products, and it was absolutely fabulous. So I wanted to try it out as well using it through a stencil. So right here, I'm just putting on a thin coating of this. Now, you guys have seen me put product through a stencil before, and I always put it, always lay the product down on my craft mat first before I bring it to my stencil. And I'm just putting on a very even coat of this. I'm scraping off any excess that I have just so I can get a really smooth layer of this. I don't want it on too thick. And this goes on very, very, what do I want to say, evenly. So I'm just going to pat in some spaces that I can see that aren't even. And like I said, I'm just raking that over very gently just so I can get a really good even layer. And it goes on pretty smooth. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close that up. And then I'm going to go ahead and remove the stencil. And at first, this is like really clear, so you're not going to really see it too well on the paper. But once I lift this up, you'll really be able to see the detail. So I'm going to very gently pull that up. And this stuff is really, really sticky as well. So I'm going to pull that up. And I want to make sure that I get this into some water. So I just have a bucket off to the side, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Now I'm going to make sure I clean off my palette knife because I don't want that to be too sticky a little bit later. And I'm just going to lift this up so you can see it. So you see it's really, really clear. It just kind of looks like a coating of glue. And you can see how detailed all those little squares are. It looks pretty perfect. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. And I just want to go ahead and get that up off of my craft mat. So like I said, this stuff really just reminds me of a very creamy, thick glue. So I just want to clean it up off my craft mat because I do want to be able to work on this craft mat a little bit later. So I am going to make sure that I also clean off that palette knife. That's a really good palette knife. So if you take care of your tools will take care of you. So I'm just going to make sure I get all of that extra material off of that palette knife. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and bring that piece back in, and I'm also going to start my heat gun. I'm going to get my heat gun really nice and warm, and I'm going to go ahead and start drying this. Now you can let it dry overnight. I don't have the patience for that, so I'm going to go ahead and heat this. Now don't hold it too close You just want to wave your heat gun around and get it dry. So that's what I'm going to do here. Now this is dried, and you can see it becomes very, very shiny when you have it dry, and it's extremely tacky. So that's when you know it's dried. All right, so now what I want to do is to go ahead and grab that piece of foil. So I'm going to go ahead and take my foil, and I'm going to lay it right across the top. Now, what you want to do while you're heating this up is you don't want to heat it too much where you totally like burn or scorch the medium. So just remember, when you're drying it, you don't want to dry it too much or put too much pressure on it because you will scorch it. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and really rub in that foil. You can already automatically see the design. Now I'm also going to rub this in really, really hard because that's how it's going to start sticking to the adhesive. So like I said, it's kind of like a sticky glue background. So I'm also going to grab my bone folder, and I'm just going to start working in that foil into each one of those little squares. So now you can really start seeing that really cool design coming up through the foil. It's so awesome, you guys. I absolutely love this. So I'm going to peel it back, and look how pretty. Now I can just keep going in with my bone folder and just really scratching in that foil in the places that I miss. So I'm all the way to the bottom now, and look how pretty that is. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this technique. It is so pretty. Look how gorgeous that rainbow effect is. Doesn't that make such a gorgeous card? And look what you have left over. You guys know I'm not throwing that away. I will link to a video in which I did something very similar and how you can reuse your foil when it's done. But look how gorgeous that came out. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. All right, so now let's go ahead and get a card put together. So I'm just going to bring in my trimmer, and I just want to trim down a little bit of this off because I'm going to put this on some colored cardstock. So I just want to trim just a little bit of the edge off because I just want to have a little bit of a border down the side. Now with this grid, like I said, you can use it with sprays. You can also use it with inks. I think it's just beautiful. So how about if we use that with a sunny bright yellow? So I went ahead and cut down my cardstock, and I know, shocking, right? I'm not using white. And that looks beautiful. What a happy little card we got there. Just a tiny bit of a yellow border right around the outside. I'm going to go ahead and grab my ATG gun, and we're going to go ahead and get a card put together. So with that stencil and this medium, boy, you can make so many pretty cards. So you guys really need to get your hands on this stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and place that down. And our rainbow background is complete. I can't tell you how happy I am with this card. Can you tell? I'm so happy with this card. All right, now I already had a birthday sentiment already stamped out from a card that I was making before, and I never got around to using it. So it's perfect for this card. So I'm just going to grab myself a little bit of foam tape, and I can pop that up on the back. And we're not covering up a lot of that beautiful foiling. So that is done. And look how pretty. Who would not want to have this gorgeous background foil card? Beautiful. All right, everybody, that's a wrap for today. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a fantastic day. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.